On today's episode, we're answering the question, no, we're not, because I'm on the wrong damn outline. I keep interpersonal conflict out of my private life. I mean, my public life. It is 1000% private. I actually just thought of this. So you have really 3 levels of life. You have public, which is out there for everyone to see. You have personal, which is out there but not for everyone. And then you have private. And that stuff stays locked down all the time. Okay? If I have an argument with my husband, let's do that. An argument with my husband. If I'm talking publicly, and this is 100% hypothetical, my husband is an amazing man. Public, I might say, I had an argument with my husband. Okay, that's okay. They happen. We have an argument. Personal, I might tell a friend, I had an argument with my husband about X. Okay. Maybe it's, me to a friend. Yeah, I'm frustrated by X. Private is maybe the dirty details of that argument, my innermost feelings about it, the rants, the vents, and you can choose whether you share that with a best friend or not, but that doesn't get out. Okay, so that is my example of public, personal, and private. It's really important to understand where each of your messes falls on that spectrum. The fact that I miss laundry day or that every spring I have ants in my kitchen, public, I don't care. Other stuff, I'm not even going to say here because this is public.
I like your example. I'm going to relate it to business. I'm going to pull it into the business world too, right? So we have the somewhat public, personal, and private messes of our business. The hiring and firing of an employee who's been on your team, publicly trashing another person, another coach, things like that. So just be, and we're just trying to raise awareness on this. And you may or may not agree with Allison and I on what we're saying. And we totally understand that. And if your preference is different than ours, that's okay. We're just sharing this is our personal opinion. And luckily we get the platform of having our own podcast to talk about it. So yay, us. So many coaches and many people will say, keep it under wraps until you've kind of solved your stuff. Only you can decide whether or not this is true. So something to think about. Here's a couple of things that you can do that will help you maybe navigate, like, what can I show? What do I feel comfortable with showing? And one of those is sharing the unrelated messes. Like Allison's audience, we were talking about earlier, really connects to her mental health journey, and they applaud her for that transparency and understanding. And I actually think it's attracted more people to her. And I honestly, and Allison chime in on this, I honestly think you may have gotten actually some clients from that who, like, I can name 2 in my head that share a similar mental health background that you're now writing for.
Yeah, absolutely. I've used it as a connection point. I've used it as education. And it also serves a personal mission of mine, which is to destigmatize the mental health issues that happen. And so I am able to encourage others that, hey, what you see on the surface may not always be what it is. So that's a specific mess that I've chosen to share that a lot of people choose to keep private or personal. Mm-hmm. And that's where what you were saying, this is how we operate, and you may choose differently.
Absolutely. I shared when my mom passed away, to give to your private, your public, private, and everything like that. I shared when my mom passed away that her and I had a difficult relationship. I didn't go into all the messy details about it, but I definitely shared that there had been some, there had been some issues there But even though she had now passed, was, you know, it was a post that I put out right after when she passed away. And I did get a lot of people who kind of connected to me on that. And that was my level of acceptable mess, because when she did pass away, with all transparency on it, it hit me a little bit harder than I thought it would, given our previous relationship. So, but I am very curated in the fact that I don't talk about the details. Nobody needs to know the details. You know what I mean? And there's that. And I think that's important to think about. So that kind of leads into the next point, which is the whole don't go overboard.
Exactly. So there are a couple of parts about not going overboard that I think are really important that Jenny and I just explained. Okay. So Jenny did share about the relationship and the difficulty that she had when her mother passed away. And then she didn't talk about it a lot again until now. Right? She didn't post about it every day. It wasn't the running theme of all of her promotions for a year. It was something she decided to share in order to A, have her own personal journey, but B, connect with others who may have shared similar experiences. And then that was it. It's really important that it is not all about your mess all the time. I cannot stress that enough. Mention your mess. Tell a story that might contain a mess in the context of a larger lesson. But if all you do is say, OMG, look at me, I'm such a mess, you're not going to connect with people in the way that they want to. You're not going to give them the value. You always have to consider, where is the value in what I'm posting? Right? I share tidbits about my mental health journey in order to show people that if they're struggling, they're not alone. That's valuable. Jenny shared what she shared in order to show people that if this is the kind of relationship you might have with someone in your life, you're not alone. That's an important message. You might decide, hey, I want to share, and I know that actually in an upcoming episode, we are going to share what used to be the mess in our back end in order to show you like the back end of our business. There we go. Right? There's my mess. Jenny's dying right now because nobody needs to know about our back end mess, the back end of our business mess. See, this is why it's on brand for me. I'm totally comfortable with this little thing right here. But we're going to show you and tell you what it used to be like for us when we organized our businesses and our podcast and our work together, and kind of why that didn't work and what we do now. So you can learn, hey, I do it this way. Here's a better way, right? That's a reason. So why are you sharing the mess? If you're not giving them value, it's going to wear thin after a while. Hold on. No. Because, okay, so here's the thing. So apparently I start every episode with okay, so, but Jenny called me out on it.
Oh
and
no, now it's awkward.
Now I don't want to do it, but it screws me up because I don't know how to get into the flow without my okay, so.